country is facing a concoction of miseries, a series of overlapping crises, societal, political, economical and constitutional. Now I know what you all must be thinking, what's so new about this? Hasn't Pakistan been in a perpetual state of crisis since its formation? Well, it has been, but this time things look different. This time there's an overwhelming sense of doom, a complete collapse of the Pakistani state. The country's economy is in the ICU. Food prices are at astronomical levels. The currency is in free fall. Forex reserves have depleted. The national debt has never been higher. Terror attacks have risen in number. Taliban fighters are flowing into Pakistan. And the Afghan-Pak border is in a state of chaos. As if this wasn't enough, now even Pakistani athletes are being targeted. Look at this report. 6 football players have been abducted in Balochistan. This happened over the weekend. 48 hours on, their whereabouts are still unknown. These are young boys we're talking about. They're all between the ages of 17 and 23. They were kidnapped while they were on their way for a football tournament. Who's behind the abduction? No one knows. No group has claimed responsibility yet, but authorities say the Baloch Republican Army, an outlawed separatist group, could be behind the incident. This incident comes barely a week after terrorists stormed security outposts near the Pak-Afghan border. A total of 4 Pakistani soldiers were killed in the attack. And this was not a standalone incident. Throughout this year, there have been numerous similar attacks. In fact, in August this year, Pakistan witnessed a sharp 83% rise in terror attacks. And this was when compared to July. In July, there were around 54 attacks. In August, the number of attacks rose to 99. How? Is it because new terror outfits have cropped up? Or is it because the old ones are growing in strength, unchecked? The answer seems to be the latter. Look at this tweet now. It's by Bilal Sarwari. He's a prominent Afghan journalist. He says there are around 50 to 60 Afghan Taliban fighters who have joined the TTP, that is the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, an offshoot of the Afghan Taliban which strives to enforce the Sharia in Pakistan. And guess what? It's now getting the help of Taliban fighters to do so. And all this is happening while the Taliban keeps the Durand line tense. You see, in the last 1 week, the Taliban and Pakistan have exchanged multiple rounds of fire at the Torkham border. This has eventually resulted in the border getting shut. It's been 5 days. The border is yet to reopen. These are the latest visuals. They show a beeline of trucks on the Pakistani side of the border. Thousands of them have been stranded for the last 5 days, and it's not just trucks. There's no movement at all. Not of people, not of goods.
I came here to a Pakistan hospital for the eye treatment. The doctor gave me medicine and told me to take 1 month's rest and then come back to Pakistan for an eye operation. But when I came here to the border to go back to Afghanistan, the firing started. Now I am stuck here on the Pakistan side. I have no money and no bed for resting here.
I have been stuck here for 6 days and I have insulin injections for my sick father in Afghanistan. If these injections do not get there, there is a risk of death for my father. I am demanding that the border be opened.
And as that happens, the Taliban is challenging Pakistan in other aspects too. Look at this report. Afghanistan's central bank has prohibited the use of the Pakistani rupee in the country's southwestern region. Instead, it has initiated the promotion of the Afghan currency. Is this linked to the border clashes? Is the Taliban trying to decouple itself from Pakistan completely? It certainly seems like it. And as the Taliban challenge persists, back in Islamabad, headlines like these are going viral. The country's flagship carrier, the Pakistan International Airlines, or PIA, is in deep waters. It risks grounding 15 planes amid dues worth 20 billion rupees. If this happens, more than 30 national flights will be suspended. Last week, the airline had to ground 5 of its 13 leased aircraft over dues pertaining to fuel and lease payments. It is now facing the prospect of grounding 20 more aircraft. And what does Islamabad plan to do about this? Well, it says it needs time to fix this. How much time? Well, the country's aviation ministry says it will take 12 months to overhaul the airline. Meanwhile, the country's caretaker prime minister is doing what his predecessors did in power, begging international bodies for loans. Look at this report. On Monday, Pakistan's caretaker prime minister Anwar ul Haq Kakar met World Bank officials. Why? Why else but to secure another loan? Here's hoping he's able to get one, because the country's debt has ballooned. Look at these figures now. Last we checked, it had risen by 29% to 56.21 trillion Pakistani rupees. And it's likely to remain there because the inflows of foreign currency are at an all-time low. So at the end of the day, this is what we have: a depreciating currency, a soaring debt, an airline in crisis, border skirmishes and terror attacks. It seems everything under the sun in Pakistan is plagued by problems, one after the other. The border is tense, the politics is in turmoil, the economy is in the doldrums, and the people, they have neither money nor security. All they're left with is dark humour. I'll wrap this story with this statement by a Pakistani citizen comparing India's Chandrayaan success with the state of affairs in his own country.
पैसे लगा के जा रहे हैं ना, हम तो ऑलरेडी चांद पे रह रहे हैं, आपको नहीं पता?
नहीं, मतलब क्या हम कैसे, हम तो चांद पे नहीं रह रहे हैं।
चांद पे पानी है?
पानी नहीं है।
हाँ तो इधर भी नहीं है। वहाँ पे गैस है?
नहीं, गैस
इधर भी नहीं है। वहाँ पे बिजली है?
नहीं,
ये अभी देखे लाइट नहीं है इधर भी।
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.